Negating Swahili present tense. Hello dears, welcome again to another session of learning Swahili language. Today we are going to look at how one can negate Swahili present tense in a very easy way to remember. Please welcome and enjoy the lesson. When changing a phrase from present tense to present tense negating, there are some characteristics to consider. And these are: first, when negating words, affirmative words that ends with letter A or A in English changes to letter E or I in English. Second, the tense infix na is dropped. Third, the verb or stem changes by adding ha, as in hapana, which means no in English. When negating, it is important to remember that affirmative sentence is formed by adding a prefix and the word na plus verb stem. A negative sentence is formed by adding a negative prefix plus a negative verb stem. It is important to remember that the affirmative sentence is formed by adding a prefix. You'll have the word na and then verb stem. We'll see examples later. And a negative sentence is formed by adding a negative prefix plus a negative verb stem. There are also verbs that don't end with a or a in affirmative, nor e or I in the negative. These words retain the same letter in their ending part, be it affirmative or negative. Here is one of the examples we can see on words that ends with letter a or a and I from the word kulala. Kulala means to sleep. When we look at the pronoun as well as their affirmative and negative sentences, this is what we get. Here we have a pronoun and we'll have an affirmative and negative sentence. Negative action or affirmative action. Mimi, pronoun mimi means I or we. Affirmative will be ninalala and negative is silali. Wewe means you. Affirmative will be unalala and negative is hulali. So we can see in all affirmative there's letter a or a, and in all negatives there are letter I or e in Swahili. Yeye meaning her or him, analala. Yeye analala is an affirmative. Yeye halali is negative. Sisi meaning us. Affirmative will be tunalala and negative will be hatulali. So when you have a sentence like this, you may have an affirmative sentence like sisi tunalala and negative sentence will be sisi hatulali. We are sleeping and we don't sleep. Ninyi, it means you but in plural form. Affirmative is mnalala, ninyi mnalala, and negative is ninyi hamlali. Wao is they, and affirmative is wanalala and negative is hawalali. So the sentence here would be wao wanalala, wao hawalali. From these examples, with the exception of the first person pronoun mimi, meaning me or I, we have the si. Otherwise, second and third person changes to who and her when you are negating. And Swahili verbs that don't end with a in affirmative and don't end with I in negative aspect retain the same letter in their endings, whether it is in affirmative or negative form. So here we see the negating Swahili present tense. When you have, for those verbs that changes from a to e or a to I, only the first person pronoun mimi changes to si, but the second and third changes to who or her. For example, halali, mimi siendi. Swahili verb that don't end with a or I, whether it is negative or affirmative, they don't change. They have the same letter in their endings. Examples of these verbs which don't change are rudi, meaning return, ishi or leave. Ishi means leave or stay, and kujibu is to reply or to answer. Examples of such sentences are mimi ninarudi Tanzania, meaning I am returning to Tanzania. So we are going to see how the word ninarudi changes here. Mimi sirudi Tanzania. I am not returning to Tanzania. So the ending word D in the affirmative and D in the negative, they are all the same, they don't change. Ninarudi, sirudi. Ninarudi is I am returning. Sirudi is I am not returning. Rosie anaishi Uganda, meaning Rose lives or stays in Uganda. The negative part will be Rosie haishi Uganda, meaning Rose does not live or stay in Uganda. Musa anajibu maswali. In English, it means Moses is answering questions. In negative format, it will be Musa hajibu maswali, or Moses is not answering questions in English. So here we have seen words like ninarudi, sirudi, they don't change. Anaishi and haishi, the ending part, the vowel that ends in this verb does not change. And anajibu or hajibu. Before the end of this session, I would like to request you to write your own Swahili sentences in negative present tense. You may write between 3 and 5 sentences in the comments box below. I thank you in advance. And that is the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment.